Accurate mode.
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? I hope we are doing well. I am kind of tired, if I'll be dead honest. Not in a bad way, just in a factual way. You know? I know what I'm trying to say. So, we are going to be coming back with Shibuya, aka the game I am way too addicted with. I'm gonna have a drink of water before I get into it. So I think we had more to see on Tama's route? Yes. To be continued. That one's not an end. So I don't remember what that one is. Okay. I brace myself before actually stepping out the door. It's been a bit since I played this, so I don't exactly remember where we were at, and I forgot to watch the previous VOD, so if I repeat myself, so be it. So be it. Excuse me for that hiccup. It's not there. Where is it? Okay, yes, we have seen this. Oh, that's there. How have I never seen this menu before? I've never actually seen this menu before. I just never looked for it. I think we've been through this before, though. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yeah, I've seen this. So, let's go back to the time chart. I know what to do for Tama's story, now that I've been reminded. So let's just do that. is where we need to change things. So last time we hopped onto the forklift, which broke all the bottles of burning hammer. So this time we're gonna throw. Ugh! Achi snatched up the nearest box, turned and threw it at the man with the cane. The box was filled with something heavy. This ought to do some damage. He watched with satisfaction as it struck the assassin in the face. The man staggered sideways. Here, have another! One by one, Achi hurled every box in the pile. Jesus Christ, Achi. And one for the road! The last box wasn't properly sealed. It broke open and struck their pursuer, sending several bottles flying. They shattered as they crashed into the street, splashing red liquid. The assassin dropped to one knee, scrubbing at his face with his hand. Achi looked in surprise. He couldn't probably hit that guy that hard. Peering at the man more closely, he saw that he was spattered in red liquid. Apparently the stuff in the bottles had gotten in his eyes. Oh no! Now's their chance. Achi took off with Hitomi, leaving their pursuer kneeling in the alleyway. That can't be good to get in someone's eyes. Okay, and that will be the same. See, and now Tama's is different, so we need to do that again. Back at the break room, I'm met by Mr. Yanagishita, who positively radiates despair. Okay, we've seen this. The good luck pendant, yep. So, currently the story up till now is their current product has been lost due to the recycling guy taking it on accident. So, and yes, he finds the recycling guy found it again. I fucking love this game. So this is where it's gonna theoretically change. No way, I murmured to myself. This thing didn't actually work, did it? Nope, we've done that one. This is where it's gonna change. I braced myself before actually stepping out the door. It's there! It's really there! The cardboard boxes were scattered all around outside. Wait, scattered all around? What happened to them? I suddenly have a very bad feeling about all this. Abriash gnaws at me as I open up one of the boxes. No! I shriek and my vision dims. The box is full of bottles of burning hammer. All of them smashed to pieces. Oh, no. And we're at to be continued. Wonderful. So I think we just have Kano left to get to this point, and then we'll be continuing on to the next hour. So I'm gonna re-look at to be continued, Kano. Yeah, we just have Kano's So I'm gonna look at his and see where this takes us. The man's black garb made him stand out in the crowd at the intersection. It occurred to Keno that all the criminals who'd handled the Itachi case had been wearing the same black clothing. In fact, the fact made the whole situation even weirder. Could they really be ignorant that they were being followed while they were all wearing the same eye-catching outfit? It's more like they were going out of their way to make sure the investigators spotted them. That still didn't provide any clues as to what they were after, though. The longer Keno kept telling these guys, the less it all made sense. Was it really such a good idea to keep this up? Someone's life was in danger and they were just letting the kidnappers carry out their plan, whatever it was. The very first page of his Dick diary spelled things loud and clear on that front. Dick dictum, never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. Right now, the single most important thing was ensuring the hostage's safety. This was a situation where Tatano would have stuck to his guns for sure. Kano thought back to that day 3 years ago. Okay, we have seen this, so I'm gonna skip past it quickly. I kinda want to get to the end of this part because I don't know where we're going from here. I can't remember. There should be a way to switch forward. There we go. Yeah. Thinking back to the way Tatano had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers made Keno feel all the more raw about just tailing these syndicate members. Letting the crooks just wander around wasn't going to bring Maria Osawa to safety. Of that, Kano was now certain. Shoot, it's bleeding pretty bad, he heard someone say behind him. He turned and saw 2 young men carrying another along. There was a towel wrapped tightly around his head. Hey, what happened? Kano asked. Shut your mouth. Kano blanched. Can the attitude, he's just trying to help, another voice cut in. It was Sasayama. He had finished dealing with the girl by the station then. What happened to your friend? Out of my way, man. I ain't afraid to kick your ass. Look, cut the crap and let me take a quick look. Sasayama unwrapped the towel from around the young man's head. Ooh, that's nasty. The young guy was a little more than a kid. His head soaked red with blood. He appeared to be unconscious. They couldn't just leave him like this, but they were in the middle of a job called Juvenile Affairs. They were in the middle of a job, but they couldn't leave him like this. I'm trying to remember if we saw these kids before. I believe we might have. So they could be important. I feel we should step in. That's the one nice thing about this game, is I can always come back. They were in the middle of a job, but they couldn't just leave him like this. They should probably take him to a hospital. Kano offered to help carry the bloodied young man, but Sasayama stepped in front of him. He quickly flashed the 2 youths his badge. Oh crap, you a cop? Sasayama nodded. Who you kids with? The Bamfs? The what now? Oops, not what I meant to do. Back. Bamfs, Shibuya's number 2 gang. Its leader, Sohei Ikari, has gathered up some big mean dudes in the attempt to make Shibuya his turf. The gang's leadership is inferior to that of SOS, but on an individual level, its members tend to be stronger in a fight. Word is that the rise of the Bamfs is one of the reasons SOS has been growing more combative recently. SOS? SOS, admitted one of the young men after some hesitation. So we have seen them. Okay, this could come important. Who attacked you? Yo, it ain't like that. What was like then? Infighting? The young man was silent. Sasayama must have been on the right mark. In the course of his police duties, Kano picked up a fair amount of street gossip from the young people in Shibuya. Lately, the scuttlebutt about the legendary SOS gang was that they were dealing with some internal strife. Look, don't worry about it, I get it. There's a hospital just down the way. Hurry up and get him there. The young man batted off Sasayama's offered hand, then quickly hauled his friend away. Sounds like SOS is on the verge of breaking up with all this infighting, huh? Kano asked. He kept his eyes on the young man as they headed off. Yeah, it seems like it's been pretty rough. You know, with the original leader leaving and all. The detectives in juveniles affairs were well acquainted with SOS's original leader. That would be Achi Endo. Initially, SOS was nothing more than a small group of like-minded young people who hung out together, but as its membership grew, the general public began referring to the group as a gang. Word has it that back when Achi was in charge, gang members never started any conflicts themselves, but simply responded in kind when others brought fights their way. Stories were something out of I can read today. Stories like something out of an after-school special. There were tales of taking down gangs who sold drugs to kids, or breaking into Yakuza front offices to save their friends. The detectives with juvenile affairs took these stories with a grain of salt, but if there was really young people like that out there, Kano hoped to meet them someday. The detectives had to hurry to catch up with the man they were tailing. He was still strolling along, seemingly in no particular hurry. They kept him in sight as he crossed another pedestrian overpass and circled back around. Still following the same MO, huh? Sasayama grumbled. Guess so, Kano said. How'd things go with the girl? He was careful not to take his eyes off the mark as they talked. You're right. She's not part of this. She's just one of those street evangelists? Evangelists? Yes. Or something. Oh yeah? Yeah, she kept asking me, but are you really happy with your life? Wigged me out. I kinda bailed out of there pretty quick. So, Sasayama, I'm thinking the Itachi case is going to get handed off again at any moment now. Huh? Sasayama appeared at the mark, who was scanning the plaza he just entered, apparently looking for someone. I take one side, you take the other, Kano suggested. Sasayama's eyes went wide. Say what now? That way apprehend both perps involved with the handoff. Sasayama didn't reply. Look, HQ isn't thinking about the hostage's safety, Kano said, but that needs to take priority here. Sasayama's face took on a rare solemnity. Disobeying direct orders is not something to do lightly. Disobeying a direct order. A detective's behavior is governed by the Local Public Service Act. Article 32 states that a detective is to faithfully follow the orders of a supervisor in course of his duties. Violating this is punishable by a warning, reduction in pay, suspension from duty, or dismissal. In event of a warning, not only is the individual expected to submit a formal letter of apology, but pay raises may be delayed or performance bonuses cut. Then, after a moment, he added, but I'm on board. I'm sick of us all this wandering around anyway. That's Sasayama I know, Kano replied with a chuckle. Sasayama gave him a silent thumbs up. The two detectives took up position on the opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. You ready? He asked. Just give the word. There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd, both eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place. And then... Well. If it isn't Mr. Toyama. Kano's ears picked up at the sound of an aggressive greeting, the voice dripping with feigned cheer. He whirled around to see two rough-looking young men confronting a father and his daughter. The older man looked pained. Please, just hold on, he said placatingly. I thought we agreed on 4 o'clock. The young man snarled. Don't you try and play dumb with us, buddy. It's nothing like that, I swear. My girl was just hungry, so I just stepped out to... Yeah, how come you didn't just order delivery, huh? Ah, yes, right. I suppose that would work too. Don't you, me man? Kinda watches the argument uneasily. The stranger's altercation put him in a bit of a spot. The cook he was tailing probably wouldn't risk handing out the case with an uproar like this going on. What's going on over there? Sasayama asked. I'm not sure, Kano replied. It looks like some kind of argument. The suspects are gonna get wary on us. It's gonna screw the whole hand off. Yeah, I know. So do something about it and get over here, Sasayama said. What? Find some way to shut them up, and then get over here. Oh, sure, alright. Kano headed towards the argument. He was only halfway there when Sasayama called again. He sounded panic. Hey, Kano! He made a run for it. Huh? Oh, crap! The man they'd been tailing had vanished in the brief time Kano had taken his eyes off him. Wait up! Kano shouted. Sasayama was racing after the suspect, and Kano rushed to join him. The man was surprisingly quick, however, and neither detective managed to catch up. In fact, they soon got lost sight of him amidst the teeming crowds. Frantically, they dashed through the streets as fast and hard as they could. We lost him, Sasayama admitted at last. Damn it! He stamped his foot on the asphalt in disgust. Director Kuze? Kano gasped over the wireless. I'm sorry, but we lost the man with the Itachi case. There was a heavy sigh on the other end of the line. Kano braced himself. He wasn't just going to be able to weasel out of this one with the I'll do better next time. Sasayama? Kano? Get your asses back to the precinct. Kuze out. With that, Kuze switched off the line. Back to the precinct. Kano knew full well what that meant. They were off the case. There was a gnawing in his gut. If those two punks hadn't shown up, no, if that father and his daughter hadn't turned up, he might have been able to apprehend the suspect. Aw, don't let it get you down, Sasayama said. I mean, paper pushing can be kind of fun. The look on his face, however, suggested that he didn't think it was fun at all. Not one bit. With the air of two men heading to an execution, Kano and Sasayama trudged back towards the Shibuya precinct. Bad end. Back to the precinct. Okay. So, with that, we need to somehow divert the other two. When did we see them last? Oh, we didn't finish off with Osawa's either. So we need to move forward with Osawa's, which will probably help. Okay, we'll go back on this one. Osawa chided his wife. It's only money, it doesn't matter. So, for anyone who's not caught up on the story, this is the father of the kidnapped girl. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. And they're paying ransom, and his wife is complaining about the money about it. Only money? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how much we're talking about here? The ferocity in her voice left him with no response. He should have known better than to expect her to make sacrifices for his daughters. She's also a stepmom, so it's kind of an evil stepmom situation, which is not great. But now he was accustomed to Ai's coldness towards the two girls. The twins were Osawa's daughters from his first wife, who'd passed away 15 years earlier. I had no blood ties to Maria Hitomi herself. Well, I continued, are the police going to reimburse us or not? She glared pointedly at Kajiwara. Well, Right now, we're focused on making sure Maria is safe. I stormed up to him, shot him right in his face. Stop dodging the question, answer me. Yes, of course, Kajiwara squeaked. Maybe you would like something to eat to help you calm down. He held out a banana. I smacked it out of his hand. Oh dear, what a waste. Kajiwara scrambled to retrieve the fruit from the floor. Sawa went over to Tanaka and whispered into his ear, I'm going to meet with Mr. Makino. Tanaka nodded silently. Turning, Osawa saw Kajiwara looking in their direction. They made eye contact, but Osawa quickly looked away and strode out of the living room. Okay, I know we've been through this, so I'm gonna pop through this first. Oh, I'm gonna stretch here. The stakes are getting higher, which is a lot of fun. I'm excited to be coming back to this. This is a lot of character building and flavor text, so I've already seen it. Please step back, sir. I've already seen your face. I do not care. I hope everyone's doing well, though. Oh, that feels better. My feet will wake up now that I don't have them under my butt. Okay. Yep, we've seen this before. Can I skip past this? No. Okay. Alright, we've already seen this. Okay, he's on a continued. The rain won't let up. No matter how much time passes, it just won't stop. This is new. Ever since that day, the sound of raindrops has been burned into my mind. Such an awful, heart-rending sound, driving me to strip all my life down to shadows. And yet, no matter what else I abandon, nothing will make the sound of the rain stop. What? Oh, okay, so we are continuing. Perfect. Osawa stared at a postcard that was nestled into the final page of the photo album. 1 second. I'm just doing a thing for myself. There we go. He purchased it 2 years earlier, while on a trip with Maria to the Middle East. Middle East, originally used to indicate Iran, Afghanistan, and the regions surrounding them. In modern times, the term refers to the part of southwestern Asia, excluding India and Afghanistan, and the section northeastern Africa along the Mediterranean coast. However, in Japan, as well as other US, the term Middle East is often understood to refer specifically to those parts in the region with strong Islamic influence. He mentioned that he was being sent there on business, and Maria had just blurted out, "I want to go with you." She'd really developed an interest in the Middle East conflict, and apparently she'd been yearning to see the area firsthand. Ongoing friction with the Palestine region between the Jewish people had founded the nation of Israel and the Arabs who had been living there previously. The religious and historical context of this cultural clash is well beyond the scope of what can be elucidated here. His daughter's newfound curiosity had taken him aback. She had always tended to be quiet and self-contained. The clumsy conversations aboard the airplane, the meals eaten together in awkward silence, it all felt like such a distant memory to Osawa now. "Ma'am, I'm afraid I can't let you do that." He heard Kajiwara's voice outside the door. "Why ever not? I'm just going out for a bit." The detective was arguing with I. "Great. And just who was it who told me I should try and go live about my life as normal as possible? As normal, Osawa's wife sneered. "Ma'am, please, How would you feel about being told to just sit around and wait?" Ai's angry shriek jerked Osawa to his feet. He hurried from the study to try and calm her down. Ma'am, please wait." But by the time Osawa had made his way downstairs, his wife had already stormed outside, despite Kajiwara's attempt to stop her. Osawa doubted anything could have said would have stopped Ai from leaving. Trying to physically keep her from going out would only have made her an even worse uproar. Ooh, I can read today. I'm going to grab a bit more water and fix my enunciation. Ooh, I'm crunchy. He was glad at least it hadn't come to that. He was turning to head back to study when Kajiwara caught his eye. Resigned, he headed down the stairs and bowed to the detective. Ooh, that's neat. That's a neat shot. I like that. "Any idea where she's going?" Kajiwara asked. "I mean, at a time like this?" Osawa shook his head. "I wouldn't know. I didn't think so. You know, your wife really is something else." Osawa arched an eyebrow. "That's one way to describe her. A rather rude way, as a matter of fact. Oh, no offense intended. It's just that, ever since this case started, you've both been holed up in your own respective rooms." The more Kajiwara spoke, the more irritated Osawa became. "What's your point?" he demanded. "I just mean you haven't been having any, marital discourse." Marital discourse. According to one survey, in roughly 6% of households, discourse between spouses is largely non-existent. Various reasons for this were offered by the couples in question. Many claimed that they were too tired to have the energy to talk, or stated, we wind up fighting when we talk, or we have nothing to talk about. "Mind your own business," Osawa snapped. Kajiwara dipped his head deferentially. "The two of us not talking isn't a new thing anyhow," Osawa added. "I have a policy of not having pointless conversations." It is quite common for Kanji Osawa to make it through an entire day without having a single conversation. On many days, he opens his mouth only to eat or brush his teeth. His current record is a streak of 14 consecutive days, during which he didn't talk to anyone. See, this is why I need to stream, or else I'm gonna end up like him. I do the same sort of thing, but just because... Hi, Travis. Thank you for the Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. How have you been doing? I hope you are well. And thank you for throwing things at me. Travis went re. Hi, Arrows. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well as well. Welcome to an extremely depressing game. Extremely depressing game. I swear, it's good. It's just depressing sometimes. It didn't look as though Kajiwara quite understood. Microorganisms such as viruses don't have conversations, and yet they still continually propagate in order to survive. Thinking about viruses, Osawa was back in familiar territory. He felt a surge of confidence. Yeah, that frog's cute. Where did you get this frog? Who does he belong to? Amazing. He belongs to Twitch. I will have to use him later. He's cute. Once you have a clear purpose, conversation is unnecessary. Yes, I'll have to find that later. Very good frog. We love good frogs. I don't have any frog emotes. And do you have a clear purpose for the relationship with your wife, Mr. Osawa? Of course I do. To be a family. Arms crossed, Kajiwara struck a thoughtful pose. At least I've learned one useful thing today, Mr. Osawa, namely, that you don't like to have pointless conversations. It's a good thing to know. I love that. It does. Kajiwara uncrossed his arms for a moment, then crossed them right back again, furrowing his brow. But see, that's funny. You seem to have a tendency to have a pointless conversations with me, and because you keep coming to talk to me, Osawa saw red, you don't leave me much of a choice. Hello. Tanaka poked his head out of the living room. Is something the matter? He asked. No. Osawa struggled to regain his calm. Perfect timing, actually. There's something I need to talk to you about. Sounds good. I hope you chill well. Good luck on your resume. Those are not fun to write. He turned back to Kajiwara. My apologies, detective, but would you mind giving us some privacy? Kajiwara didn't move. Detective? Osawa gave the policeman a hard look and saw him crack a smile. Yes? What is it? Kajiwara said at last. Don't you play dumb with me. Give us some privacy. Is this a discussion I shouldn't overhear? Actually, yes, it's work-related. They're business matters I'd prefer to keep confidential. Ah, I see. Reluctantly, getting to his feet, Kajiwara slipped away into the living room. Tanaka, Osawa began. About those emails. He stopped abruptly. What's up? You found a scandal? What? Huh. I don't know who either of those people are. Sorry, I don't follow K-pop groups. Oh, I bet. K-pop's notorious for being everything on that. Kajiwara had reappeared in the living room door, staring right at them. Oh, I'm very quiet? Let me... I shouldn't be too quiet, but let me turn myself up. Is that a bit better? Yeah. Okay, cool. What are you doing? Osawa demanded. Oh, should I not be watching? Osawa felt like he was about to burst a blood vessel. I mean, you never told me I couldn't watch. Because it should be obvious. The detective made a scolded puppy face, then closed the living room door. Osawa let out a heavy sigh. He'd never been an extrovert, but he didn't recall human interaction being quite this draining. Anyway, sir, Tanaka prompted. You were saying? Yes, about those emails. Something doesn't make sense. I don't understand how Mr. Makino was able to get the antiviral agent to anyone on the outside. Sharing an Okoshi Pharmaceuticals drug with external sources while it was still under development required the approval of an executive committee that included Osawa himself. How's the music level, by the way? I think that should be good. There should have been no way the antiviral couldn't have been sent out without his knowledge. Tanaka hesitated a few moments before responding. Are you aware of the strife between the company president and the chairman? Osawa shook his head. He was a researcher through and through. Factional rivalries held no interest for him whatsoever. Makino effectively leads the chairman's team, and the antiviral agent is their pet project. Despite being the executive officer in charge of the project, however, Makino still needs the president's approval to... I'm just moving chat over for myself. There we go. You know what? Forget about that right now. What do we do about security? In theory, it was physically impossible to get the antiviral out of the lab without detection. Entry to the biohazard laboratory, where it was kept, required fingerprint authentication from both Osawa and Tanaka. Fingerprint authentication, technology that allows an individual's identity to be verified by scanning the fingerprints. Oh, excuse me. It is one element of biometrics, the measurement of physical characteristics to identify individuals. There are even devices that can identify people by checking the veins in the palms of their hands or the irises of their eyes. Without the two of them there, nobody could even get into the storage facility. Because a dangerous virus is also stored there, the lab where the antiviral agent is kept is protected by an ID checkpoint, as well as a sophisticated 3-tier lock system that requires fingerprint authentication. Multiples. You honestly can't? Stop laughing at the fact that... Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's a pretty wild rumor. I don't know. Keeping up with K-pop stuff is way out of my league. I'm not very good at it. What a way to put it. That's hilarious to me. What a way to put it. You know what? That's probably a very fair way to put it, though. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. I don't know. People come up with anything, so who knows? Multiple security guards are also posted outside the laboratory. Entrance 24 hours a day, making it all but impossible for an unauthorized person to get into the secured storage area. It is very random. I don't know, people like to make things up. Isn't that like most scandals, though? Here's a reason I don't keep up with them very often. Yeah. Got a hair in my mouth. When I finish stream, somebody remind me to check my support points, because I think you guys have unlocked something else, but I'm not sure. Tanaka followed his drift. Ah, yes, I see what you mean. He inclined his head in thought as Osawa continued. Could someone have overwritten the fingerprint authentication program? Let's check the entry logs for the storage section. We'll just have to ask Makino in person. Yeah, my support points. So, anytime anybody follows, subscribes, or donates, you get support points, which unlocks things like emotes and redeems and things you can do on my channel. And like special streams and stuff, so they're a good thing. Oh, so chat, do we have a preferred option for what we want to pick? No, you are completely valid. B? Yeah, B seems like the logical option. That's what one I would have gone for. Wow, I can speak. Let's check the entry logs for the storage section. Anyone who wanted to get inside had to present their ID card to the security guard on duty. It should be possible to check the computer logs to see if there had been any suspicious activity in the system. Tanaka shook his head. I already checked the logs, sir. There was no evidence of anything suspicious. Look, there's too many S's in that word. You're welcome to check yourself, though, if you're that worried. No, I believe you. Yet the fact that the antiviral agent had been used for clinical testing. Either Makino had taken it from the laboratory personally, or someone working on his orders had done so. But how? Was there really some way he could have bypassed lab security without anyone else knowing? Osawa couldn't think how it would be possible. The living room door opened with a soft creak. Why you like this? It was Kajiwara, and he looked stiff and pale. Oh. Something terrible's happened, he said. Visions of tragedy flooded Osawa's mind. Maria. Is she... Kajiwara shook his head. No, it's not that. What is it then? Osawa asked, his voice trembling. Sir, I need you to stay calm. Osawa swallowed the lump in his throat. You see... Kajiwara! Jesus Christ! Kajiwara! God fucking damn it! Oh, I love this game. God, I love this game. God damn it. Kajiwara. The toilet's clogged. I fucking love this game. Plunger in hand, Osawa stabbed vigorously at the I don't know how to say that word. Recalcitrant. Sure, toilet bowl, struggling to loosen the unseen blockage. Plunger, a cleaning implement consisting of a soft, hemispherical rubber suction cup at the end of a dowel. By pressing the cup over the opening of a drain that has been clogged, one can apply suction pressure to jostle the blockage free. Makes a variety of sounds when used, such as blub, glork, schlick, slurp, schlip, and pop. I don't know who wrote this, but oh my god, I love the writing in this game so much. It's so good. I absolutely adore this game. It's so good. Kajiwara sighed, wiping up the floor with a rag. How did this even happen? The detective groaned. Are you kidding? I was hoping you could tell me that. The plunger sucked and slurped at the porcelain basin. This was a first for Osawa. He'd never tried to unclog a toilet before in his life. Someone took a huge shit. Think of it as a blessing in disguise, Mr. Osawa. What the hell are you talking about? What about this constitutes as a blessing? I just meant that at least this has happened before you need to, do your business. Without the slightest hints of guile on his face, Kajiwara picked up his bucket and headed for the sink back in the washing area. Grumbling to himself, Osawa pumped the plunger over and over again. This was almost funny. Almost ridiculous, in fact. His daughter had been kidnapped, and he was stuck unclogging a toilet. He was quite possibly caught up in a major corporate conspiracy, and here he was, unclogging a toilet. Tanaka poked his head into the bathroom. Did you fix it yet? If you need to urinate, then use the restroom on the second floor. That's alright, here's fine. Oh, someone's taking too long. Tanaka stepped in beside him and abruptly shut the what the fuck? What is happening right now? Hi, what? Now the two men were cramped into the narrow lavatory. Hey, Osawa hissed, what the hell are you doing? Tanaka made eye contact with Osawa via the mirror. He spoke in a hushed voice. What? I've been waiting. For a moment I could get you alone. What? I don't know what's happening. I know most of the story, but I don't know what's happening. Tanaka slid around to face him, giving him an intense stare. Sir, could you please be quiet for a moment? Tanaka had tears in the corners of his eyes, so only take a moment. Osawa could feel the warm breath of his deputy whispering against his cheek. What is happening? Tanaka reached for something inside his coat. Okay, we can tell him to knock it off. We can shove him out of the bathroom. Or close his eyes, please. Okay. Alright. Alright. Do as you wish. Osawa closed his eyes. Are you sure you're ready for this? What is happening? I'm not sure. This is all happening pretty fast. To be honest, I'm rather nervous. I understand, sir. I mean, now that I think of it, we do spend day in and day out in that lab together. I suppose this was bound to happen sooner or later. What does Osawa think, Sam? I don't know what's happening. Sir, could you please open your eyes? I'd like you to look at this. You'll have to forgive me. This is all a bit sudden. Please, sir, take... God fucking... I love the ambiguity. Yep. I love this game so fucking much. No, I can't. It's just the two of us. It's probably going to shock you. I know, but please look. This is not gonna end well. Is it really that shocking? Oh, yes. Now, please, open your eyes. Okay. No, I can't. God. Osawa, it's not what you would think. Sir. Give me a minute. God, fuck this game. It's so good. Sir, trust me, this isn't easy for me either. Alright. Bracing himself, Osawa opened his eyes. Tanaka thrust out his cell phone. Here, take a look at this. Huh? Osawa blinked bewildered, then refocused on the phone. He could never anticipated what he saw on the LCD screen. Oh, you motherfucker! This game! Oh, that's rude. Oh, that's rude. You... So a keep out point. Essentially, I have to find a jump point. Wait, I think I know where that is. Okay. I know where the jump point is. But yeah, so a keep out point, I have to go to another one of the stories, play through that to find the jump point, and it will bring me back. Which I believe I've already found? Yeah, no. This one's Minorikawa, right? Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I really love this game. It takes a long time, but oh my god, it's worth it. And yeah, basically you have to everyone's story caught up on a to be continued before you can go to the next hour. So it's done an hour at a time. So this jump point's Minorikawa. So I need to find something that relates. Yeah, it very much is a visual novel. Father. Oh, I think this might be the jump point. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh! Chinese. Oh, that sounds fun. Oh, I know what's on the phone now. I completely forgot about this. I won't explain. We're gonna see it in a moment here. You might have to tell me what that visual novel is if there's an English translation, because I can't read Chinese yet. Haha! Oh, perfect. Here, take a look at this. Huh? Oh, what's it called? I will have to make note of it for later. Osawa could never anticipate what he saw on the LCD screen. It was an email from Hitomi. I completely forgot about that! So, yeah. Osawa's coworker, whose phone we're currently looking at, had earlier emailed Hitomi, and she emailed back. And they can't show it to the police, lest, the kidnappers will kill Maria, and Hitomi is Maria's sister. And those two are Osawa's daughters. So, stifling an exclamation, he scanned the contents of the message. There's a man following me. He has a gun, and I think he's trying to kill me. I'm safe for the moment, so try not to worry. The kidnapper warned me. Try not to contact my family or the police. Please keep this email a secret. But Hitomi didn't Hitomi give the kidnapper the ransom? Osawa said. What could anyone want with her now? Tanaka shook his head, uncertain. He wouldn't know any better than I would, I suppose. Do the police know about this? And if so, why haven't they said anything? He felt himself start to tremble as he searched for answers in Tanaka's silent gaze. Do you think this could be related to that other thing? I doubt it. If they were, why would they go after Hitomi? I suppose you're right, but Osawa's shaking out right now. Tanaka laid her hand on his shoulder. First, just calm down. Let's think about what we know about the kidnapper. His composure helped Osawa keep himself under control. That's a fun view from the toilet. They've taken Maria, the vice director continued quietly, along with a ransom of 50 million yen. And now they're after Hitomi. His gaze sharpened. Sir, do you think this could be someone who holds a personal grudge against you? A grudge? Osawa considered. He couldn't think of anyone who would have a reason to attack him. He'd been too caught up in the virus research since his time in school to have formed any hostile rivalries. He didn't have any enemies that he knew of. Maybe someone's jealous I became head of a laboratory? He suggested doubtfully. He had held position for years at his point. Why would that spur someone into kidnapping a daughter now? Has anything happened recently? Tanaka asked. Anything strange since you got back from overseas? Since I got back? Osawa's heart skipped a beat and started pumping faster. The first thing that came to mind was the solicitation he'd gotten from the American laboratory. I'm drinking again. If he'd accepted the offer, it would put Okoshi Pharmaceutical in quite a bind. Possibly enough to warrant someone holding the grudge over it. But the only person who knew about the potential transfer right now was his wife, I. No, Osawa said. Nothing. Not that I can think of. He couldn't bring himself to discuss the transfer with Tanaka. He felt a surge of guilt for contemplating leaving his trusted assistant behind. If he did make a move to America, he planned to recommend that Tanaka replace him as department director. Still, he didn't expect that to make up for his abandonment. Alright, I'll see what information I will see what information I can find then. Huh. My mouth is starting to get gummy from talking so much. Yeah, we're in the toilet. This game has a lot of fun with where it puts things. I don't know. I love the weird camera angles it comes up with. It's very visually appealing. It's very fun. We're frogs from Australia. Yeah, I've seen pictures. There's so many frogs in toilets in Australia. The kidnapper had forbidden any contact with either family or the police. My friend said that's not surprising. That's funny. But Tanaka was outside of that circle, and he knew how to handle himself with discretion. I'm sorry to have to put this on you, Osawa said. And thank you. For now, let's see if we can get Hitomi to exchange some more emails. An uncomfortable thought suddenly occurred to Osawa. He blurted out without thinking. Why do you have my daughter's contact information on your phone? Tanaka gave him a worried look. Sir, I promise I can explain once this is all over. And with that, he stepped out of the bathroom. Something in the tone of his final words left Osawa to wonder. Could it be that Tanaka and Hitomi were dating? He hoped dearly for that not to be the case. Their age difference alone made the idea a disturbing one, let alone so many other considerations. Mamoru Tanaka is 40 years old. Hitomi is 19. This makes him just over twice her age. This doesn't necessarily mean, however, that they could not date or fall for each other. Many couples with such an age difference between them wind up in happy, committed relationship. I'm not gonna speak on that. We're gonna pass over that for right now. I don't want to think about that. Trying to put aside his paranoia. Wow. Osawa resumed his struggle with the clog in the toilet. I know it's different in Japan, but to me it's still weird. Most toilet clogs are caused by a buildup of flushable paper products or by solid objects inadvertently dropped into the toilet bowl. But shockingly enough, on very rare occasions, they can be caused by someone taking a dump, and it happens to be that big and it gets stuck in the pipe. Apologies to anyone who might be eating right now. Thank you for apologizing for me, game. Oh goodness. Kajiwara appeared, still toting the bucket. You seem to be having a lot of trouble there, sir. You made it sound like the whole mess was Osawa's fault. Of course I am. I never had to do this before. Really? I think the research you do would be a lot more difficult than this. Fixing toilets gives me far more trouble, I'd say. So it would seem. Kajiwara stood watching, as if Osawa's efforts made an interesting show. I don't know the first thing about viruses, sir, but I don't find unclogging toilets to be that difficult. Oh yeah? Osawa snapped. Then how about you fix the damn thing? Kajiwara was a real world-class pro at pissing people off. Are you sure you don't mind? The detective asked. Be my goddamn guest. Osawa shoved the plunger into Kajiwara's hand. Leaving the detective to handle the toilet, Osawa marched back to his study. He turned on the CD player and lay back on the sofa, squeezing his eyes shut. He was seriously on edge. Kajiwara had totally broken his stride. What now? The door to the study slid open slowly. It's a Detective Kajiwara, sir. Please don't come in here without asking. My apologies, Mr. Osawa. I just want to inform you that the toilet has been fixed. Right. Fine. Osawa hardly cared. He just wanted this guy to give him a little peace. Oh my, is that all you really have to say, sir? Nary a complaint nor encouraging word? Maybe a good job, Kajiwara? Or you're getting promotion, detective? What the fuck, Kajiwara? Why are you like this? Osawa blew out his breath in exasperation. How? How are you a detective? I'm not sure I get your meaning, sir. Kajiwara's so weird. I don't know what to do with him. You are being completely clueless. I'd like to ask your superiors to replace you with a detective who knows how to take his job seriously. Mr. Osawa, with all due respect, it's unusual for a precinct detective like me to be stationed here at a victim's home. What's your point? Not to brag, sir, but I happen to be an exceptional detective. Kajiwara beamed with pride. In fact, I made an excellent showing in the Superstar Detective contest we had on our police social media service. Any online platform whose primary feature is allowing people to connect with one another. The police exclusive social media network that Kajiwara belongs to, Poxy, is very strictly regulated, with any abusive language, slander, sexual content, or lame jokes deleted almost immediately. For a moment, Osawa thought the bolt of an incredulous anger that shot through him was an onset of a stroke. Amazing. How could a single person be so utterly infuriating? And you can't tell anyone about this, Kajiwara went on obliviously. But this summer, a new detective manga is starting up, based on me. Planned for serialization in the MPD's monthly PR magazine, the chapter titles have been already decided. Chapter 1, Fabled Detective Kaji. Chapter 2, Kaji Howls at the Sun. What? Chapter 3, Kaji Rides the Rails. Chapter 4, Kaji at Daybreak. Chapter 5, Detector Kajak. Chapter 6, Kaji, Queen of the Street. What is happening? Chapter 7, Look Out, Kaji. Chapter 8, Kaji on the Edge. Chapter 9, Dance, Kaji, Dance. Chapter 10, Space Detective Kaji. And so forth and so on. I know some of these are references to things. What is this, a serialization of Kaji's life? I think so. I don't know what to think. I love this game. It's so good. Osawa spat out a peal of feigned laughter. A manga! I can tell you all about the plot, sir. Would you like to hear about it? I would not. It's about- God fucking Kajiwara! Shut up! It's about a telecommuting detective who solves major crimes by using just his wits and his computer. Surely you'd like to hear about that, sir. I really wouldn't. I know I may not look it, but I'm pretty handy with computers. Kajiwara's eyes drifted over to Osawa's desktop. Oh! Oh! Kajiwara, get your hands off. Kajiwara, put your hand... No. No. Oh. Oh. I can, like... Oh. Yeah, I'm cringing too. His hand darted to the mouse. In a matter of moments, he cleared the screensaver and booted up a web browser. Hey! Osawa barked. Don't touch that. But he was too late to stop the detective. The monitor showed up the page for AyaNet, a fan page devoted to Aya Kamiki. Osawa's imminent rage stroke was beginning to make his vision grow fuzzy. Yeah, please, stop, don't touch. Kajiwara, stop. Stop. You come to this site regularly, sir. Regularly? Well, I'm not sure I'd, Osawa trailed off, feeling a heat of a blush flare on his cheeks. There's a lot of stuff on this site. Is there any section you primarily spend time on? Well, I mean, for my part, I really only go on the fan forums for folks 40 and over. Aha! With a twinkle of curiosity in his eyes, Kajiwara appeared at the computer screen. Having his privacy invaded to this degree was the ultimate disgrace. Alright, Osawa huffed. You're an amazing detective, Kajiwara. Just incredible. I see you in a new light now. Now would you please get the hell out of my room, or please leave me alone. Are we kicking Kajiwara out, or are we leaving ourselves? First one, I kind of want to tell Kajiwara to get the hell out because he's going to start playing with our computer and I don't trust him. Now would you please get the hell out of my room? Please don't touch my things, right? He tried to usher Kajiwara back out the door. Alright, sir, the detective said. Alright, I understand. I'll leave. But before that... Kajiwara slipped his hand into his pocket. I don't need a damn banana! It's not that, Mr. Osawa. I have something I think may be important to you. He held out a small plastic bag. Inside was a scrap of paper of some sort. What's that? Osawa asked. This is what was clogging the toilet, sir. With some hesitation, Osawa took hold of the bag. Huh? That's... The passenger name here is listed as Kenji Osawa. The plastic bag was a plane ticket. Specifically, the one for his upcoming flight to the U.S. the following week. He'd left it out on his desk. How did it wind up getting flushed down the toilet? This looks pretty important, sir, Kajiwara said. I must say it was pretty careless of you to accidentally flush it. A wry sort of smile came on his face. I flushed it. I'm calling it. I probably flushed it. I, as in, Osawa's wife. Although, the detective added, I suppose the question of who flushed it is another matter entirely. Osawa was at a loss for words. Someone had tried to flush his plane ticket on purpose. He was sure of it. He knocked on the door to Ai's room, but there was no response. It didn't look like she'd gotten back home yet. Osawa let himself in. The stinging scent of her perfume permeated the room, which was decorated in all white. Clothes were strewn all about, as if to put on her slovenliness? I can't say that word. On display. She'd been like this ever since they'd gotten married, and Osawa had long since stopped caring. Must have been I who tried to flush the ticket. See, he thinks the same thing. One moment, I just need to blow my nose. Give me a sec. Alright. He knew since she didn't want him going to America, but still couldn't. Couldn't she have found a better way to get rid of it? Thanks to her, he'd been stuck hunched over the damn toilet, fighting with the plunger. Osawa sat down on the bed amidst the brand name clothing, and he spotted something odd down by his feet. It was a gold cigarette lighter. Just when had I picked up smoking? Osawa picked up the lighter and set it on the shelf next to the bed. He started out of the room, but stopped as he noticed a scrapbook on the bookshelf. The rest of the shelf was filled with fashion magazines, so the scrapbook definitely drew his eye. Curiously, he took it down and opened it. The book was filled with articles and write-ups about the results of Osawa's research and the company's various achievements. Flipping through pages took him on a trip down memory lane. There was even an old company memo welcomed Tanaka on board as his new vice director. There was a photo of Osawa shaking Tanaka's hand at the party celebrating his new position. It was a little peculiar to think that she had bothered to keep something so trivial. A series of magazine articles was nestled between the pages further into the book. These hadn't been clipped out for inclusion in the scrapbook itself. Osawa glanced through them. Floundering Okoshi's pharmaceutical arranges marriage of political convenience. It was a self-indulgent piece from some rank called Four-Star General Gossip from right after he and I had got married. When the piece had first run, he'd been too furious to read it. Now he gave it a quick look over. It was pretty much exactly what he expected. It talked about how one of the corporate directors had sacrificed his own daughter in order to keep one of his researchers on board, allowing someone else to come and harm for personal gain. In this case, the term is used figuratively, not literally. Referring to, of course, to Makino offering Osawa Ai's hand in marriage. Ugh. Rumors abound of marital strife between the newlyweds. The article went on to talk about how Ai had been dating another man before she and Osawa had gotten married. The whole thing was a bunch of puerile rubbish. Any marriage involved some kind of calculated self-interest, after all. Whatever the reason for their union, nothing changed the fact that I was now his wife. With a faint sigh, Osawa put the scrapbook back onto the shelf. Feeling disconsolate, he returned to his study and began flipping through his CD rack. His eye scanned for Aya Kamiki's album For Tomorrow, Forevermore. A lot of her more experimental numbers were on that album. Given how discombobulated he felt right now, this is what he needed to hear. Again, Osawa reflected on how there'd been a time where he didn't care about music at all. He simply purchased copies of the most popular CDs of the moment as birthday presents for his two girls, and they just happened to be an album by Aya Kamiki. Hitomi was thrilled by the gift, but Maria hadn't seemed terribly fond of it. The next day, she tossed her copy back on the father's desk. Figuring that throwing it away would be a waste, Hosowa had stuck the CD into his computer and gave it a listen. He was immediately bombarded by an intense beat, bolstered by low, bold, uplifting vocals. Ooh, my speaking is going 1 second. Ha. Aya Kamiki wrote her own lyrics, which did a fine job of conveying the emotions of a teenage girl. Osawa could hardly believe it. After listening to just one track, he was well and truly hooked. Before the day was out, he had purchased her entire discography. Huh? He muttered. For tomorrow should have been in the CD rack, but there was no sign of it. Where the heck is it? Why isn't it here? For a moment he wondered if he was going crazy, and then he remembered. It was at the lab. He wanted something to listen to on break at work, so he'd brought the album there. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Not being able to listen to it made him want to hear it all the more. It wasn't like you could just go out and buy another copy right now, either. He'd just have to borrow the copy he'd been given. He'd just have to borrow the copy he'd given to Hitomi all those years ago. Unable to contain his need to hear the music, he went into Hitomi's room. There, he quickly rummaged through the CD rack beside his daughter's bed. Part of him felt like he was being a little sneak thief. According to the email Tanaka had shown him, someone was trying to kill Hitomi. Under the circumstances, he knew what he was doing was ridiculous, and yet he still couldn't resist the impulse to find the CD. But his efforts were no avail. There were no Aya Kamiki's CDs in the rack at all. Osawa pulled out every CD on the rack, but they were all classical music. He slumped back in disappointment. It had to be somewhere here in her room. Osawa jumped at the sound of a cell and fumbled to get it out of his pocket. Makino's name was displayed on the LCD screen. I'm out front. That was all Makino said before hanging up. Hurriedly, Osawa began tidying up the CD rack. As he worked, he thought about what he was going to say to Makino. To think that someone had violated corporate policy to just such unethical ends. It sullied his research. Osawa wasn't about to let anyone get away with it. And yet, as he was about to leave Hitomi's room, a sudden uncertainty gripped him. He hesitated. Did he have any right to condemn Makino for running trials in secret? His hand began to sweat as it gripped the doorknob. No, he didn't. How could he? His hands were dirty in all this too. We need to keep this a secret, just between us. It'll be fine. We've already cleared animal testing. What? The memories hovered. Osawa himself had already administered the antiviral to someone, hadn't he? It was the only way. Muttering to nobody in particular, Osawa trudged toward the front of the door of his house. What? Fuck. Fuck, I love this game. Okay, it's not common that we see videos, so that's fucking important. It's such a cool game. I love it. Okay, so. Ooh, I need to get Hades. I don't have Hades. Tano is taking off the case. A certain someone needs to give those two better advice, and a certain other someone needs to meet with them outside his or her house. I'm trying to remember where these are. Probably down Minorikawa's line? Yes, we ran into them. Where? Not that one. Not that one. That one, I think. Haha. You need to get back to the office ASAP. This is where I need to change. The office? But they'll find me there for sure. Tomama's voice was a little more than pathetic whimper. It's a little bit of reverse psychology. The last place the debt Wow, I can't speak. Yeah. Give me a sec. I'm gonna stretch for a sec. It's a little bit of reverse psychology. The last place the debt collectors are going to think you went is back to the office, correct? Ah, I see, Toyama said. He sounded impressed by the suggestion. For now, just stay hidden until I can get these articles finished. All right, Toyama said weakly. He hung up. Okay. With that, we should be able to jump back over to Kano's. And this should change. Check up position. Nope. So that needed to change. We need to change one more thing. What was the hint on this? And certain someone needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Okay. I will try and find that game then, because I think I'll like it if it's similar. Yeah, I really like the jump function where you jump between the storylines. Meet up with someone outside of his or her house. So, this is where we give the advice. So it would have to happen after? Trying to think. Tama, maybe? Because I don't think Achi runs into them. Okay, we've done the advice. This is the problem with, like, taking a break on this game. I can't remember everything. Certain other someone needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Yeah, you start to forget things. I don't think... I want to say... It might be Tama? I haven't played Yakuza yet. I need to play Yakuza. Okay, no, I don't think this is the scene we need. Unless it's later in the scene. No. Outside his or her house. I don't remember if there's anyone outside of their house. Nope. I doubt it's Osawa. I'm actually a bit of a loss. Give me a sec. I need to think. Maybe? It's gotta be Tama, I swear. Might it just be later in the scene? I don't know. Nope, not that one. Probably not that one. Osawa's in Ai's room at that point. Maybe it happens earlier on? A certain someone needs to give those two better advice, and a certain other someone needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Both of those are the key to changing Kano's fate. probably not that one. Achi's route, maybe? No, I think it's within this hour. Hinokane, Dogonzaka. I don't remember. Shoot. The note taking's actually not too bad if you can remember, but I can't is my issue. Just trying to think. It's probably not that one. Who ends up in front of that building at South Point? Or in front of... Let's try this. Okay, well, we've bumped into the right people. But not what I'm looking for, I don't think. I might look this up, just so we don't waste too much time. I'm gonna look this up quick. Normally I'd be able to solve that, but I don't remember. Oh, it is Osawa! I thought it wouldn't be Osawa. I'm just like, Osawa is the only one outside, but... This is where they're going outside, but it's too early for that. But it hasn't gone outside yet. Reading. Okay, so it is the Toyama meat outside. One moment. Is it Toyama? Well, I know they're outside at this point, I believe. I have no idea. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. No, this might not be outside. How do I get... So I need a Sawa to go outside. Oh! I need Osawa to go outside. I figured it out. Now would you please leave me alone? He got up to leave the study. Sir, hold on. There's something I want to give you. Have this. Osawa fled the room. He needed to be alone, if only for a few moments. But even if he could somehow shake Kajiwara, the other detective had eyes all over his house. He'd reached the limits of his patience. He couldn't even think straight anymore. He headed for the back door, trying to avoid the police. Opening the door quietly, he slipped across the yard and out through the back fence. Ha-ha! He didn't want to venture too far from the house. He'd found a tiny alley and took cover there, thankful for a few moments to himself at last. While there, he caught sight of a man and a young girl, a father and his daughter, running past on the main road. It looked like if they were running from something. The man glanced anxiously back over his shoulder, dragging his daughter by the hand. Osawa watched absently as the pair rounded a corner and disappeared from sight. Not long after, a pair of thuggish-looking men came running along, headed in the same direction. "You there," one of them called out. "Did you see a guy and his daughter around here?" Teru Toyama and his daughter Hana. They must have come to Shoto while running from loan sharks. Just a moment ago, Toyama was talking on the phone with Minorikawa. They should have come this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. Osawa feigned ignorance. "Don't think so. No." "Come on, Yutaro. Let's go," said the older man. "Aye," replied the other. The two dashed off in the direction the father and daughter had gone. Osawa took several long, deep breaths. He managed to calm down slightly, but the worry gnawing away inside him still lingered. Osawa groaned inwardly when he got back to his study. "You're still here?" "Yes, sir. I was told to keep my eyes on you after all." "Believe me, it shows. Mr. Osawa, if you're going outside, I'd appreciate it if you let me know first." "What? Had Kajiwara..." "Oh my gosh, hello! Thank you for the raid!" Ladizzle? Ladazzle? How do you say your name? But plushie raid. Oh, how cute! Thank you. Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing? How was your stream? What were you playing? Hello. I'm gonna take a drink of water while we're a bit distracted, because I need it. But hello, thank you so much for the raid. For anyone who does not... Oh, you're playing Hades? Nice. For anyone who doesn't know, hello, my name is Sterscip. I'm an interdimensional VTuber who has come to your dimension to check things out and whatnot. I'm a media and culture researcher, so I get to play games and interact with you all. It's a good time. Hades looks like a really fun game, and I do need to play it. I'm glad I passed the vibe check. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follow. I genuinely appreciate it. And thank you, Arrows, for sending them my way. I appreciate you so much. I hope you're enjoying Hades, though. Yeah, it turns on. I have a lot of very cool secrets with my overlay. There's lots of things to play with. But yes, thank you so much. All right, let's get back into whatever shenanigans Kajiwara, this creepy ass man. Thank you so much. We don't know what's wrong with Kajiwara. He's just really creepy. Had Kajiwara realized he snuck out of the house? That man looks like me for real. I guess I should explain what I'm playing because there's some more convoluted to it. This game is called 428 Shibuya Scramble. It is a visual novel type. The main story plot right now is Osawa, the character we are currently playing, has had his one daughter kidnapped named Maria, and we are following a bunch of other characters in this story. So I hope that's enough of a breakdown to kind of make sense what's going on. There's going to be a lot of convoluted stuff, so welcome along for the ride. No, I enjoy distractions, especially when it's a raid. I appreciate it so much. You know what, Papa? Oh no! Poor penguin. But more importantly, Kajiwara reached back into his suit pocket. I've been meaning to give this to you. He held out a small plastic bag. Alright, we have seen this part, so I'm gonna pop out to the timeline. No, we need to go through it. It changes things, we need to go through it. There's not a skip button. So I will quickly summarize what's happening here. So Osawa was offered a job in America because he's a big pharmaceutical company researcher. And that's his plane ticket to go to America. But his wife, does not want him to go. And he pretty much figures that she is the one that flushed it. Yes, we're back here. And yeah, we have to go through it because we're not at the end point anymore. So yeah, sorry I'm just skipping through this. I hope my explanations, suffice. It would have been really fun to do the photos for this game. It's so pretty. I really do like this game. If any of you have, like, quite a few hours to kill, I'll admit this is a long game. If you have a few hours to kill, play this game. Oh my gosh, it's really, really good. I'm absolutely addicted to this. I'm glad you're intrigued. So we'll get to the stopping point for this line. Okay, now we can get back to the to be continued point. Perfect. so I don't have to keep clicking through. Alright, Kano. So, unfortunately, due to timing, I am closer to end of stream, so I'm gonna finish off Kano's route, and then I'm gonna call it a night, but you'll be able to see a good chunk of it at least. I really enjoy this game. It's so intriguing. If you like detective stuff at all, you'll love this. This is really, really fun. The two detectives took up position on opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called upon Sasayama on his cell phone. "You ready?" he asked. "Just give the word." So, Kano is the one with the close-up, and the farther away person is currently the perp that we are tailing. There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing each other's surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place. And then, well, if it isn't Mr. Toyama. No, we already dealt with this. Do we need to go beforehand? We dealt with this. This should be not this. Was there an option? Yeah, that's what I'm checking. Because what we did before is we took the other two out of the scene by telling them to go home. Thank you again so much. I hope to see you around again, and I'll try and catch your streams. You seem very cool as well. Hey, if you pass Arrow's vibe check, I'm pretty sure you're great. Have fun eating, though. Thank you. So let's skip through this, and sometimes you have to jump back a bit, and then it'll activate. Took up positions. No. Okay, back. If the father and daughter had showed up, this wouldn't have happened. I already did that. So I saw them outside the house, and I gave them the better advice. Da, 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 da. I'm pretty sure to send them back to the... Okay, let's try activating that again. Because that bed end will disappear in theory. Maybe I have to give them the other advice? And then mix it with the seeing them outside? Okay. Let's try that. No. What if I go back to Osawa's? Osawa's changed. Okay. But I'm out of time. So, with that, I'm gonna start wrapping up the end of stream, because I usually give myself about 5 minutes, so give me a sec. At the start of whenever I play this next, we'll start on Usawa's then. Because that one changed, which is a good sign. So I think I just gave them the wrong advice. But I'm on the right path, so. Let me check something else while I'm here. Skip for now. Profile. Where are we at? We're at... I just missed it. I will see who's on all though. That's a good idea. $865. Ah, you get new decorations. One moment, let me turn those on. So do that. Where is viewer rewards? Channel points. Haha. Where did I put this? Change back panel. Alright, with the decorate my overlay command, you can now add a balloon to my overlay, which is cute. I need to go through and sort my commands. They're a mess. But, let us see who is on. Not anyone I know. So, if chat has any recommendations on who to raid, please let me know. Because I don't really have anyone. Oh, there they are. Yeah, we could raid them today. I'm okay with that. You have good recommendations on who to raid, being as you raided into me, so I trust you. But yes, give me one moment and I shall get that set up. Yeah, I do know who that is. Yeah, Pirate recommended them. So, finishing off, I'll be streaming at regular times this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Watch Dryad Min's Twitter as to when we'll be playing Ultima Academy next, and that will determine my Wednesday stream. The weekend after this coming weekend, or, yeah, the weekend after this coming weekend, my schedule's going to be a little bit weird. I'm going to be streaming on Friday and Monday instead of the Saturday and Sunday, as I'm going to be a bit busy on Saturday and Sunday. Friday I'm going to be streaming much earlier in the day than I usually do. Or, yeah, I'll be streaming a bit earlier. Not much earlier, but a bit earlier. And yeah, that's my schedule for the next few weeks, essentially. So, thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you on Saturday. So let us raid into Tired Squid with 3Ds. There it is. 2Ds, not 3Ds. Alright, I'll see you all next time. Good night, everyone!